Fit for Life Radio, episode number 149. Gary and Will here.
We back.
Today we are talking about how small amounts of exercise has benefits.
Just little bites.
Doing a research review from our Precision Nutrition Academy Research Insider.
Boom.
And this one's near and dear to our heart. We talked about it a lot. With effective dose, right? You can probably go back. We've done podcasts on what's effective dose, and people underestimate the power of small amounts of exercise and enter into this all or nothing mindset.
I think people overestimate what they get out of doing a ton of exercise too.
And underestimate a minimal amount. And then it's like, if they can only do a little, they feel like they're underachieving, and, well, I'm just going to do nothing, right? And I'm going to wait till I can go 6 days a week, right? And again, if you're a bodybuilder and you have to step on stage and have 6% body fat, or you're an athlete and you have a sport, there's diminishing returns, but more can be helpful with those things. But the reality is most people, you aren't those things.
Most people just want to be healthy.
Yeah, and in the context of what we're talking about, so when we say small amounts of exercise has benefits, and from this study, which was over nearly 15 years, to over 272,000 older adults, the takeaway was engaging in even relatively low amounts of physical activity significantly decreases risk of death from cancer, cardiovascular disease, and all causes compared to being sedentary.
So just a little tiny bit of exercise in the grand scheme
makes massive benefits to these ultimate health things that I think most people, that is their goal. Hey, you want to, I know for me, it's like you want to maintain your form and function for as long as possible and avoid these drastic things, right? So, and we'll get into, what is a little, what is the amount? And I think for most people it'll be shocking, right? And the takeaways are going to be pretty simple. So the TDLR is ultimately, you don't need much. It's going to be it can be as little as an hour a week. And
which, we can break that down into a couple different things.
You just need to be consistent, right? And the biggest problem we see, having a gym, working with nutrition clients, so intimately, building relationships with people and seeing the struggles and ons and offs. We even have a coach at the gym who basically that's what they do is keep people engaged. Hey, if people haven't been, reach out, we get to hear people's reasonings and try to encourage them, help them build planning skills and habits. But ultimately, most people, it's like, if I can't go 4, 5, 6 times a week, they fall off and do none and then don't see the value in only coming 1 or 2 times a week. But like we've talked about in the past is, coming a bunch is super diminishing returns, right?
Yeah.
For most people, most goals, you could come 2 days a week, some resistance training, a little bit of HIIT or some walking outside of that, and you're going to get 90% of the benefits, right? Of, hey, preventing muscle loss, maintaining and building strength and stress relief and improving insulin sensitivity, things like that.
And that's just 2.
If you came more, you'll get some more benefits, but it's maybe 10% more, right? It's not like you're doubling. You don't double the benefits.
More is not better. I know we've said that a million times.
But then the big catch is, even though 2 feels so close to 0 or 1 feels so close to 0,
it's 90% better than 0.
So when you do it none, so when you fall off, you're losing out. You're losing out on all the benefits. Mm-hmm. 0.
Yeah.
So, and this is what this study showed too, you're sedentary, the risks skyrocket, whereas 1 hour a week of some activity drastically improves these things. So you have to find something that you'll do consistently, right? And if you can do it on your own, great. If you need to hire a personal trainer, that may be what you need to do. If you need group training, that keeps you going consistent,
seek that out.
That's awesome. But you want to basically do something and do it consistently. And if you have huge gaps where you fall off for a week and then it turns into 2 years or 6 months or really anything, that's what you want to avoid. So don't be down on yourself when you can only come a small amount. Realize you may have seasons of your life and stages where that's all you can do. But even if you are super busy and you can just schedule in 1 time a week, there is massive, again, benefits to preventing,
really most chronic diseases.
significantly decrease the risk, again, of cancer, cardiovascular disease, and all-cause. So now, what are those amounts? So in this study, a bunch of different activities, and it gets fancy. Like they use these things called MET, which like measures like energy or units of energy and things like that. But ultimately, and across exercise types, so you're just basically doing something. We have 1 hour a week. So even with walking, it was, which is obviously almost as low intensity as you can get. It's like 1:45. So really between 1 and 2 hours a week. So for walking, that would be, was it like a 15-minute walk a day?
15. Yeah, that's 15 minutes a day. That's a walk around the block for most people.
Yep. And the people who were doing stuff, it could be walking. It could be, aerobic stuff. It could be even sports like tennis, cycling.
Something.
Obviously, resistance training, you're moving and you get the added benefit of, strength, that kind of stuff. So, that's where if you only had 1 hour, we would say, hey, do a good full body resistance training workout, throw in a little hit at the end, and you're covered, right?
Call it a day.
So, 1 hour
a week.
That's
it. How many hours are in a week? Lots.
Yeah.
Just one,
Let's
man.
even reverse engineer, right? So someone has, say they're maxing out their sleep, which most people don't. But let's say, so there's 24 hours in a day.
They get their 8 hours of sleep.
24 hours in a day times 7, 168 hours in a week.
Mm-hmm.
And say you're getting your 8.
Every day.
That's minus 56.
Yep.
So now we're at 112. And then say you work a full
8 hours.
8-hour job. We'll even say
we'll call it 9.
You got it because you got to drive, right? So and then we'll just say there's another hour buffer, so 10 more, just so I can do easier math.
Yeah, that's easy.
So subtract 70. Then we'll say you got kids. They got to go to sports
kid duty
and stuff. So we'll even say there's like we'll say 3 hours a day of kid activity, kid response.
Getting them ready for school, going to sports.
So then that's 21. Now we'll even say you got to go grocery shop, prepare some food, eat. Even outside of the buffer we've already provided with the work. But we'll say, we'll say 1 hour a day to eat food, and then 2 hours a week
to grocery shop.
So we'll say 3 hours and prepare some. So that's 3 plus the hour a day, 7. So that's 10. Still got, what's that say?
11 hours.
11 hours. Pfft, we missing anything? We only need one.
Just one of them. Then you got 10. Then you still got 10
you still got 10 more.
Do whatever you want.
To watch
Stranger Things. Game of Thrones, whatever you watch.
So let's even do that. You're on your phone for 2 hours a day. Oh, actually, then, there's the difference right there.
Then we go into the negatives on that.
Go into the negative. So you're on your phone 1 hour a day. Then that
we still got 4 hours.
We still got
4 hours,
4 or 5 hours. So you got to pencil that hour in, guys, girls, days.
Yes, you have to.
So
look, 30 minutes a day, like 30 minutes twice a week.
And here's the thing: feel powerful about it.
Yeah.
Like train your brain to be like, this is awesome.
I got it. Check the box.
This is Gucci.
Killed it.
Like I'm not failing.
Yeah.
I'm getting 1 hour and I'm penciling it in.
It's hard. And a lot of it's our expectations for ourselves and maybe our mindset towards what we think we need to do. Because for just so long, people think they have to train like pro athletes and, you know.
And that's what they see everyone else doing.
Yeah.
On the outside. And then, of course, the people who are sedentary ain't talking about it.
No.
But the reality is, like, being sedentary is so bad. As you can see, it only takes 1 hour a week to have massive benefits and lower your risk of cardiovascular disease, cancers, all-cause mortality. So, like, yes, what that really shows is, like, how bad being completely sedentary is.
Yeah. Is that being active for an hour a week makes your body work a whole lot better.
Yep.
If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late. So having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop mixed in water once a day and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out. If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop mixed in water once a day and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out.
Which should lend itself to, like we are designed to move and we should move. And, but on the flip side, we shouldn't beat ourselves up and drive ourselves into the ground to get there.
Yeah. And that's, one of our passions with our gym and stuff is because we help people who struggle with regular gyms. So essentially most of our clients come to us being sedentary, right? And the real reality is there's so much to gain to go from being sedentary to moving.
Yeah.
Like it's a big, big deal.
Yeah, you feel better.
So, but then what people don't realize is, oh man, I used to make it in 5 days a week and now I can't. I could only get in once or twice. We'll propose the idea of just coming once or twice, and it's not worth it. And the reality is like, well, if you end up being sedentary, it definitely is worth it, right? And it doesn't have to be like the gym.
Could be anything.
Do something, right?
Yeah.
But most people
go for a bike ride.
Yeah.
I think most people having a place to go is helpful,
right?
It's an appointment. It's something it's a routine, and that's, I think, helpful in this day and age for people. It's less willy-nilly and free-form than just going outside and going for a jog.
Yep.
It's a little more structure.
You don't have to be a power lifter, competition power lifter,
No.
CrossFitter, triathloner, marathoner. You can just go to the gym and do some stuff.
And be fit. That's it. That's all.
And then from there, you get moving, get consistent.
Yeah. Consistency is the name of the game. Always will be.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing, I don't know, we'll call it half effort, but you show up every time. You're consistent.
And again, us, like we recommend generally, we're going to recommend strength training to everyone as a base. You have an hour, like do some strength training because then you get multiple
This is,
benefits. It's
stack.
You could think of the difference as like strength training would be like investing, right? So you're going to get some dividends down the road by maintaining that muscle mass. Whereas, all benefits all activities have the benefit of movement, right? Which is good in and of that time. It's like, you get that you get that paycheck, right? Or you just put something in a savings account.
Mm-hmm.
But again, with the strength training, you get those dividends. You get down
and
the
they
road.
pay off for years.
So of maintaining that
We're
muscle
a little bit biased,
and
but
function of your not just muscle, ligaments, tendons,
everything.
bones. But yeah, get consistent, right? Even if it is just walking, you got to be consistent with it. If you have these low, and the problem is, a week, 2 weeks off turns into years, decades.
Yeah, if you do ever have time off, I think a good thing for people to work on is just getting back to your routine sooner, and know that no matter how you slice it, when you do have a little bit of a lull, you're off for a week, then like there is a little bit of a barrier for you to come back. There always will be. You almost have to try a little bit harder up front to kind of push through that. But then as you get back into your routine, like everything's fine.
Yeah.
But there is that barrier to entry when it hasn't been the habit for the past week or two. So you just have to get through that uncomfortable, I don't want to do this feeling. And then generally you'll fall right back into that good feeling.
Yeah. And again, 1 hour. Now we will recommend to people 2, just so you have a little buffer there.
Yeah.
And like we just broke down the hours in the week, and breaking down all those things, and you see
there's time.
There's time, right? So 1 to 2 times a week, if you can plan, and that's the thing. This is where stuff like walking and stuff can not be as effective for people, is because they don't treat it like a workout. There's no investment, right? So that's where you go to a gym and you have to pay for it, and there's a location you have to go to. So now that means you have to show up there a time, right? These layers help make it more likely you'll show up, right? So for example, at our gym, it's class-based, right? It is an investment. So, hey, I'm paying for this. Hey, I got to schedule this time on my calendar. Those 2 things alone make it more likely that people will go do it, right? So, that's where the consistency step is. Yeah, you have to find a formula that allows you to be consistent, right? And sometimes having those layers in place are what people need, right? But then again, when people do that, they start, they're maybe very excited initially, and then they lean too much on this excitement. And there is a time where I was able to carve out 5 days a week, and then when they can't do that, I'm a failure.
They feel like they haven't done anything.
The suggestion of we'll just come once or twice a week. Oh my God, it's
well, I'm not going to get anything out of that.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, if you don't have the goal of lowering your risk of heart disease, cancer, then then it's probably cool. But so many people, that's the other thing, get straight with what you're trying to achieve. A lot of people try to use exercise too much as some form of punishment or something, and they need to feel punished, I guess, or so it's if I can't go enough and have all these beat downs, then I'm not getting anything out of it, right?
Yeah.
When the reality is something as low intensity as walking consistently 1 hour a week, again, can lower these health factors, your risk of these chronic issues. Is that a goal of yours? Hopefully everyone's nodding their head.
Yeah.
If you're 19 years old, it's not something you're thinking about.
Probably not thinking about it.
But yeah, so then right there, it's okay, can you find an hour a week?
Yes.
2 hours a week? Okay, now what's that look like for you? Cool, you can schedule in walks and be consistent with it. Oh wait, it's storming and raining today. Now you're gonna do nothing. You fall off being consistent. You get out of the habit. Okay, well you should probably find a gym so that rain's now not an excuse, right?
Something that better suits your ability to make it.
And now, maybe you just go walk on the treadmill at the gym.
But you still showed up.
So, you need to prioritize it, right?
And then, realize, what are my goals? And then also realize, where am I at? If you have never exercised and in your head you're thinking, hey, I'm going to be a pro CrossFitter, the expectation's all wrong, right? And, you think you got to beat yourself up, and you're not really going to get off the ground with that thinking. So realizing, look, I've never done anything before, or I haven't done anything in a while. 2 days a week is fine. It's great, and that might change over time. But for right now, I can make it. I can be consistent, and I'm going to get better with that.
Yeah.
It doesn't take, and actually I would say that for most people, 2 to 3 days allows for enough recovery. And when you're coming 5 days a week, and maybe you have other life stressors, your sleep's not great, you're kind of digging yourself into a hole.
Yeah, physically and mentally.
Yeah.
So yeah, just one thing to take away. It's realize going from being sedentary to some activity is a huge deal. At the same time, too, if you're thinking of ditching your activity because you can only do it a couple days a week, but then by ditching it, you are becoming sedentary, all or nothing, so to speak. Yeah, you need to.
And you just start sliding down that hill of health.
That is not. Don't go that route.
No.
Right? Like again, reward, like cheer, do whatever you need to do. Even just going one time a week, doing something one time a week.
Yeah.
So there it is.
It's all about the expectation, man. Set it up correctly, and you'll be okay.
Small amounts of exercise,
Just
huge,
little bites.
huge benefits.
Little bites. And as your goals change, that might change too.
Yeah.
You know, you get real consistent and you're like, you know what, I do want to, improve my physique a lot or whatever. Like, okay, well then maybe you can do a little bit more and you find that you can handle that in terms of your schedule, but be okay with it. And be okay with turning up and down the dial. Like you said earlier, there might be periods of your life where you can train 4 or 5 days a week and feel great, but then there's other periods where maybe there's just so much going on with work or you're moving and you got to dial it down and you can only do 2 days.
Yeah.
Celebrate that you can still stay consistent with your activity.
And realize if you want to train a ton more, your sleep and your nutrition should scale up with that too.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be a much more bigger obligation if you do want to do that. So many people just want to train a ton more and add more and they don't take their sleep and nutrition seriously.
Their recovery's not there.
So it's like, well, you're not even going to benefit from all the extra training.
Yeah, if you're getting 5 hours of sleep at night.
And you just live in vacation mode, like just grab whatever, no planning with your food.
It's going to come back to get you at some point.
Yeah.
Whether that's by injuries or burnout or, whatever it may be. Like it will get you. So.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for listening. I hope that resonates with someone, one person. It clicks for them.
Hey, if we get one, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Like celebrate your hour a week of training.
Yeah. We're just out here trying to keep people.
I'm trying to keep people healthy, baby.
Not from being sedentary.
Mm-hmm. Let's go do something.
Clap it up one time a week. That's beast. Beast. That's hashtag beast
hey,
mode.
Hashtag beast mode. Got my 1
That's what we
hour.
start doing. Got my 1 hour beast mode. I can't
Beast
stand
mode.
that. That's the problem, man.
Jump off
all
a
these
building.
taglines and hashtags and everything celebrates like excess.
Yeah.
And then, I don't blame people. Like, oh, well, if I can only do this, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
It's just like if you want to learn how to cook and you watch a fancy cooking show.
You watch
like,
Iron Chef.
I can't do all that. I'm not even going to start. When the reality is like, hey, learning how to use a knife and learn basic fundamentals and boiling things.
It's not actually that hard.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty basic, but
knowing the basics gives you a lot, right? Like it's very effective. So you can feed yourself. You may not be able to feed yourself gourmet meals,
but you can feed yourself.
But you can feed
and
yourself.
like we went over earlier, that's 90%.
And think about it. If you can't feed yourself, now
where are we at?
Yeah, well, you're
not eating.
Rely on someone else to feed you. So now you're at 7-Eleven eating big bites.
Wait, when's the last time you had a big bite? College?
Yeah, I don't even know if I've ever had one, honestly.
Bro,
I've never had a job where I was like, kind of found myself needing to stop by 7-Eleven to eat.
Man, we would go by maybe high school after school or after practice. We would go grab something like a chocolate milk and a big bite from 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Thinking back.
I mean, riding my bike to 7-Eleven as a kid and getting Slurpees. Remember when they would always have the every now and then like a special Slurpee, so you gotta get that. So yeah, definitely all familiar with the Slurpee days, but the big bites.
Bro, they're like a half-pound hot dog.
Yeah.
Thinking back, like I just wonder.
Then I learned how to cook.
Yeah, then you learn how to make chicken tenders. And now look at you.
Yep.
Still making chicken.
Chicken and rice.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week. Thanks for listening.
We'll catch you next time. As always, thanks for listening, guys. If you want to learn more, check us out at coastalfitnessva.com or garydeagle.com. We'll see you next time.